All right, we are with Team Privateer, sailing in the Doublehanded division. Ervin on my left, Chip on my right, and you guys were winning fleet initially out of Newport. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right.
We were.
Now you're what?
It looks like we're third place at this point.
Oh, you're gonna need some rum on that one, I think.
We're gonna need a little bit of rum on that one. Yeah, so we came out pretty guns a-blazing out of the start there. Nice breeze for our boat. Reaching conditions.
I'll take a little of that
reaching
rum.
conditions.
I need some a libation.
There you go. That'll wet your whistle.
Oh.
I can top you off.
Oh yeah, that's much better.
For the record, for the camera, I did do it backwards. Ambrose Gosling would be disappointed. Ginger beer always goes first.
Ah.
You knew this as fact?
Okay. I did not know.
I didn't know that.
Come on.
I knew it floated. I knew it floated.
Yeah. So the whole concept, right, is you have to float the rum on top.
Yeah.
Because that is the storm.
Yeah.
And you got to get through the storm to get to the sunshine.
Ah.
All right.
Cheers. Very good.
Yeah.
Cheers.
No,
Cheers.
I
Cheers.
got the third cup. Anyway, back to business. So on the race, you guys are in a class 40. Started off strong. So anyway, give us the lowdown. What was happening out there? Because we didn't hear anything from you.
Well, I think the weather forecast. We had gone to the commander weather forecast briefing in the morning, and I think it was a pretty crazy looking weather forecast. And so I think we started with a lot of anticipation of a lot of wind, and so that first night was just being very careful of not getting caught with 40 mile an hour gusts. And so even though we were pushing the boat hard, we still sort of the whole time we're sort of thinking, okay, it's going to get pretty intense. And but sort of the night went on, and then we ended up sailed through a lot of fog right in the beginning. We sailed out of the bay and into like just pea soup, and we're blasting along, and then we ended up just the front moved out in front of us. We couldn't keep up with it, and the wind went light, and for I don't know how many hours it was light. We ended up switching to a J1 and just got the boat going again, and got through the first night. But the second night, the forecaster was a second front scheduled to come through. And
Second front. You're the first one that's ever said the second front.
yeah,
The second front. The second front was good. The second front lasted.
Yeah.
That first front, we got on the front edge, and we were able to burn to the east of Rumline, which it looked like when we checked back on the tracker, a lot of those boats were kind of sticking down the rum line, and it looked like a rum line race. We knew that we wouldn't hang on that front, and we wanted to get a little downwind advantage so that we'd have an angle to come back up to.
As it went north.
And I think that was a really good key early on in the race to kind of keep us ahead of the pack. So it was playing that dying breeze was pretty crucial part of the race.
How about the speeds and the boat handling kind of out in that sort of breezy first end fun?
It's the class 40 is designed for these conditions, and we had water ballast end first night, just ripping along, really.
She's like 16 feet on the transom.
Yeah.
Big wide back to her.
Yeah, just
and
going.
Reaching conditions.
Yeah.
Really just takes off, especially in waves.
Yeah.
So I think we had 21 knots was the top speed, 21.7. So pretty good.
Yeah. And that was, A3 and reefed main, and that was day 2. And day 2 is where we really made, it felt like we made the greatest, I don't know the exact number of miles.
We clicked off 235 miles
and on
of
day 2.
Our distance to finish on that day. So,
but we had
productive day.
Productive
day at the office.
We had a good day, but it was good. I mean, it really first and second day we're just really anticipating bad weather, and that forecast looked bad. And I heard people say they saw 27 knots. We saw 25 max, and but it was certainly enough to keep your attention. And there was a lot of cloud cover, and at night,
kind of dark and stormy for a while.
It felt kind of dark and stormy.
Dark and stormy a little bit.
And night 1, particularly night 2, we deliberately didn't have the kite up a lot of the night, just to be cautious. Just waiting for, Because that boat with 2 people with 40 knots is even 35 knots. You know, things go south really quick. And you know, Erv is very strong and is phenomenal on the foredeck. But 35, I think, you know, in the kites,
I can only do so much.
You can only do so much. I mean, when it goes bad quick, and you know, the boat just it's a. But anyway, luckily everything sort of stayed together, and you know, the electronics all you know, worked, and you know, we could get weather downloads, and you know, anyway, go on, Ervin.
Yeah, so you sent it through the night, racked up a bunch of miles, and then what happened?
So then we knew we were going to go into a dying breeze coming into Bermuda. We had downloaded kind of a few files, and that was in agreement. So day 2 on Sunday, we said, look, we're going to drive the boat as fast as we can, and by nighttime, we need to have less than 100 miles to go, because we can drive the boat way faster during the daylight hours, especially in those wave conditions, and especially with the moonrise was really late in the night, so sailing in darkness in that wave condition is a challenging task. We can push the boat really, really well during the day. So Sunday, kind of our mentality was like, look, we got to get the boat down the track no matter what. And we were trying to sail ley line or down Rum, and we kind of went away from that and said, okay, we can go west of Rum because we don't really know the correct angle that this breeze is going to come out of, and it's going to be light, and we're going to be VMG running in the A2, and no matter what we do, that's what's going to happen. So it was send it, get as far right as we can, and when the breeze dies, then move all the weight forward in the boat, get the back of the boat out of the water, and sail your angles.
Take a nap.
Take a nap.
Sunday morning, Erv said to me, I don't know, early in the morning sometime, Erv said to me, he said, we're going to go 150 miles in the next 10 hours. And I mean, we had just been burning along. I mean, we'd have like 40-second, 50-second, just intense goes of running at 17.
That was the day we did 21.
The bows 22. up, and the boat is just bouncing along on the waves, just going, and you know, higher speed than that, but average speeds of like 17, and the boat is just rocking. And Erv says to me, he goes, "We're going 150 miles in the next 10 hours." I go, that's a good. I like it. I like it. Keep going. And Erv was driving for several hours, just driving really hard.
We were dying for drone footage. Like the wave was like midship coming out,
and we were just rocking.
You don't have an autopilot, you plug it in, throw the drone up.
Yeah. The boat, I mean, the autopilot will drive it, but it won't. You really need to sort of heat it up, get it going, and then sort of come down and get on the waves. And you really need to sort of sight the waves, and then you can sort of get her up onto the wave, and then she just starts going. And as you pointed out, everything sort of unloads. Like when she starts surfing, the load on everything just sort of comes down, and the boat just starts rocking. And humming, and you sort of can go. In the bigger waves, you can connect them. You know, you can. I was able to connect several of them. I mean, you were doing the same thing, but you know, which
I think
is cool.
The Class 40 is really cool, man. Like the boats are built super strong. You know, for a 9,000-pound boat, our boat was built at Cookson. It's really well built, super robust. You can throw it at anything, and it'll take it.
Yeah.
You can sail the boat through anything, and it's just so strong, so durable, and there's plenty of sail change options for kind of getting the boat downwind and reaching, and it's just a really great kind of tool for the job. So
speaking of sail changes, I imagine you have a North Sails inventory, or what?
We do have a North Sails inventory. Yeah.
What is the inventory on the boat?
So for this race we run a main Solent J3, we're kind of our upwind, and a J1. And then for off the wind, we left the A15 on the dock, but we did bring the A2, which is on a sock for kind of short-handed use. Makes it super easy to get it down. It's a massive A2. We have a A3 that's a panel laminate sail on a furler, really flat, great reaching sail, especially when it gets blowing 17. It just rips. And then we have a 3DI code 0, code 65, and A5, which we didn't end up using. There was questionable times where we thought, maybe we should put this up, but I think it was the right idea not to use that one. So, but yeah, full North inventory, 3DI sales. They looked great. Happy customer, happy client.
Customer. Yeah, happy customer. I was always the cautious one. I mean, it would start getting in the evening. I'm like, okay, what are we going to actually have up when we go to bed or when it gets dark? And you know, for a while I was like, maybe we ought to think about this code 5 or not the code 5, but the A5. And Irv's like, no, we're leaving the A3 up. And
I'm happy with this one.
We're going.
No, we're not doing that.
I can make another one.
Yeah. But I mean, whether you're worrying about destroying it or not, it's sorting out the if it's blowing 35 and you got even the A3 up would be pretty crazy conditions with that. But anyway.
Yeah.
So for those who don't double hand, I mean, obviously the double-handed thing is a growing part of this event. What was the life like for you two guys in terms of watches? Or you just sort of like backing each other up when you can, or do you just stick to it's a great question. The first night we were basically hour on, hour off. I mean, it's really short, so we were sort of switching, and then we sort of during the day we'd go 2 hours, 2.5 hours, just sort of depending on how everybody felt. And then the second night we were doing like hour and a half on, hour and a half off. And
it's interesting. We run a very relaxed program on our shift schedule because you end up spending so much time changing sails and whatnot that if you run a very regimented program, then you can end up, one person can end up getting screwed and doing all the work. Yeah. And luckily we like sailing with each other, so that makes it easier from that point of view. We enjoy going out and blasting around, so we're always kind of pushing the other guy, like, hey, go get some rest. Yeah. I got this for a little while. Yeah. I'm having a good time. And it works. But through the nights, I think the last night we knew we wanted to push the boat, so we were trying to do an hour each and stay fresh on the helm. So do you feel like you got every good mile you could out of this race? Or I mean, are the results that are now changing kind of hour by hour, is that just a matter of the handicaps?
I think the handicap has a lot to do. The boat does not, in an ORR, does not rate well, so it's a challenge. But we had great conditions for the boat, and really it's about coming out here and sort of challenging yourself to do the race, and that's first and foremost. But certainly nice to go home with a trophy. But a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Just being on the water, getting experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we left a ton on the race course. We had the sails up we wanted to have up when we wanted to have them up, and that's the name of the game.
I think if you walk down on the dock and you ask guys every single night, everybody I've talked to, they downshifted. They did not. Because the forecasts were so bad, so intense that nobody wanted to break anything or get into a real disaster.
It's a long way back.
It's a long way back, exactly. And so I think everybody downshifted. And the hindsight, the 2020 is, well, we could have probably carried the kite all night. It would have been fine. We would have had a few hours there. But still, we sailed the boat well and went fast and sailed in the right direction most of the time. I think I think everybody who sort of ended up west of the rum line near the finish did well to come back across. That seemed to work out well. But anyway,
your final entry into Bermuda, you guys got to spend so many boats finishing. You finished last night?
We finished yesterday afternoon, 4:35.
Yeah.
That
was a nice time to finish.
It was awesome. Awesome. Earliest time I've ever finished the race. So
quickest time. How many times have you done it?
This is like my 6th time.
6? Always double-handed?
No. Okay. First time to ever do it double-handed.
Right. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And you?
This would be my third race. First time double-handed.
Oh,
and I really enjoyed it, actually.
I could do it again.
It's like just the right distance. And if we could order up this forecast every year, it would be.
Yeah.
This was a class 40 year.
It was a class. It was a class 40 weather window for sure.
Cool. So what's next for you guys?
Boat goes back to Rhode Island. We'll probably do some round the island racing there. Ida Lewis distance race. So.
Yeah.
And what about Bermuda 2024? We're looking ahead. Too far away?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll see how, I told my wife, I said, I'm going to do the race until I actually win a trophy. So we'll see how.
May have shot herself
I don't
in
know.
the foot.
I don't know.
You're looking at the camera and reminder.
Anyway, no, it's a great race. It's coming in. Bermuda's a fantastic destination. I think anybody who comes here, they asked in the tourist questionnaire, would you recommend Bermuda to friends? And well, of course. I mean, what's not to like about arriving in Bermuda? I mean, it's just an incredible spot. And,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And I think, the race committee does a great job. They make you jump through a lot of hoops. This is,
Safety first.
Oh my God! So they make you jump through a lot of hoops, but they do a good job running the race.
Well, I'd say you guys made the best call of the race was probably doing customs late.
Yeah. That worked out
You absolutely
fantastic.
nailed the shift.
That worked out well. That worked out well.
It was
Well,
miserable
thanks.
here this morning.
Oh my God.
Cool. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Perhaps
Awesome.
short.
Awesome.
I guess
Perfect.
We'll see you in 2024.
Perfect. Thank
Looking
you very much.
forward to it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.